Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina, and today I'd like to share a little bit about my bipolar disorder with you and my features. While everybody with bipolar disorder is completely complex and unique, I definitely have some extra stuff to deal with, and I thought telling you about what I've had to deal with might inspire others to give them a little hope that there is hope at the end of the rainbow. I encourage you to watch this entire video because there's a happy silver lining at the end, I assure you. So anyway, let's get started. So I am bipolar 1, and I'm rapid cycling, and a mixed state. I have psychotic features. I didn't always have psychotic features. It used to be back in the day that I just had that fun, euphoric mania that we kind of hear tossed around loosely. None of that anymore for me. My mania is some scary, bad stuff, and it usually leads into a psychotic episode. And that episode is usually not remembered by me, and I do very destructive things that can lead to catastrophically bad results for me. And it's very scary, and I'm completely unaware of what I'm doing, or I have no memory of what I've done other than when people tell me, or I find out the consequences. Now, what does, I'm going to break this down into two sides. First of all, I've been on medication straight for about 5 years, but let's break it down. If I was off medication, let's say 5 years ago, because right now I know that if I was not on medication, it would be drastically worse. But 5 years ago, if I was off medication, my rapid cycling would mean that I can easily flip moods several times a day, 3, 4, 5 times a day, from hysteria, bursting out into tears, throwing a vacuum into the wall, to manically talking for like 2 hours on end. Sometimes I'm entertaining, and sometimes I'm only entertaining to myself, but I can be captivating, and I can be a pain in the ass. But then on the flip side, somebody can say something to me that I just take complete offense to, and that's the mixed state thing of mania and emotion. Now, that was before. Since then, my moods have they morph, they change. They're very, very weird. Let's see, where was I? The rapid cycling, it can go from, some rapid cycling they consider like every couple months. Well, my rapid cycling could be every couple days or every couple hours. It's really bizarre, and it's frightening. And so I have, like I said, I've been on meds constantly, and even on meds, if I'm stressed or if I'm challenged on something, let's say if like I said, if I'm stressed or if my situation gets out of whack where it's different, I still will cycle, but it is a lot more, I get back under control a lot faster. And so that's a good thing. Now, another part, and probably the worst part of my illness, is something that I have dealt with most of my life, and it's the most tragic for me, and that is the depression of my illness is not your typical depression. It's a different kind that I suffer from, and that is, it is major depressive disorder, or what mine is called melancholia. And how it differs from regular depression, it has some unique features to it, in that, for instance, myself, when I'm going through a bout of it, I completely feel nothing. I don't get any pleasure from anything. If a person was to ask me, what would you like, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be? And I would say, I can't think of anything. Nothing. Nothing, you know. Or the other characteristic that's very unique is that an immense sense of guilt and shame. Immense sense of guilt and shame. And it can be out of nothing, or maybe there's something, you don't know, but it's there. And there's just really no way of talking you out of it. Now, imagine this. If I happen to be in a psychotic episode at the same time as I'm in melancholia, well, that's like the perfect storm, because now I'm bringing in one of the worst parts of my illness, and that is, for decades, I have had suicide ideation, and it's been almost daily, except for the last 4 years, and that's, don't forget to watch the end of the video, it's going to be good. Up until the last 4 years, almost every day, I had the feeling that if I couldn't end my life, there's no way I could bear to live another day, because with so many things and so many complicated emotions, everything I feel or somebody else feels, I feel 100 times more. And that's not an exaggeration. I feel everything so intensely. And not only do I feel it for me, but if a friend feels something, I feel it for them too. And I worry for them, and I worry for animals, and I worry for everything. You know, I just worry for everything. And so suicide has been an unfortunate, horrible thing in my life. But like I said, if you've got suicide ideation, you're encountering psychosis, and you're in a stage of melancholia, it is the perfect storm, because it's when a chance of suicide is possible. Now, on to a good note. The good note is I am so blessed with a great family and a great psychiatrist. And I'll tell you, I had a recent encounter, even though I've been very stable for several years, thanks to a great psychiatrist, Dr. Morton, shout out again. But I had an encounter recently with actually a family member that actually used one of my triggers that they knew was a trigger against me. And though I've been very strong, it got me. And I tried to battle against it, but it got me. And it put me into, not psychosis, but into a melancholy state, and it just really hit me hard. And I'm proud to say that it ended well, and I was able to, you know, come through this thing. And you know what's really given me so much strength throughout all these years is that, one, I'm still here. And that's the best part of this whole thing, is that it's been 4 decades and I'm still here. And I have a really severe part of this illness. And I always say, I didn't come this far to only come this far. And that's what you've got to, you know, have your mind set to. You know, you've got to, we're fighters, you know, and you've got to be a fighter too. And you can't just give up and roll over, because, you know, you've got to just be a warrior and a battler, and you've got to conquer this, and you can conquer it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And, you know, it's tough, but it's doable. And, you know, I want you to have that message in your head. And, you know, when you leave here today, please, if you like this, hit the like button and subscribe if you like, and send me a message or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And have an awesome day. Until we meet again. Bye-bye.